Hello, so we are continuing with our read on the Ascension symptoms. So we are on the mental symptoms. But before I do, I received these oracle cards yesterday, which is um, Zenita Ray, who's written this book. I'm obsessed with oracle cards. Well, obsessed. I love oracle cards. They've been a huge part of my awakening journey. They've really helped me to connect into my own intuition. And these arrived yesterday, so I thought, how beautiful would it be to actually pull a card to go with the reading that we're going to be reading right now. So you can get these on her Etsy shop, by the way. Angelic Kiss, I think it's called, but I think so. Angelic Kiss. But let's pull a card because, oracle cards, it's really the imagery, it's the symbology, with it seated within our subconscious, where there is certain sacred symbols, geometries, we understand the meanings of these. And as we see them, it starts to activate us on a deep level. So as we're starting to work with oracle cards or tarot cards, which, I started with tarot cards in about 2015, but then moved on to oracle cards, but I use both, and it is the imagery that triggers off. In fact, the people that do my Reconnect program, which you can get week 1 free, they know I bring in tarot cards and oracle cards into all of my weeks, because they always have a story to tell in terms of what we are working with at that moment in time. But it can really, so they really help us to plug into our own guidance system, to connect with our higher selves, with our guides, to really just start to trust ourselves and receive the messages that we need to receive. So let's see what card is most relevant, potent. What card has a message for us for this next section that we are reading, which I believe is section 5. So let's just have one card. Oh, there we go. Ooh, I love it. 144 light archangel. Now look. Now you may already realize that I've read a book on my channel. I've just finished the last part of it, part 15, the 144 pearl codes, which is, how amazing is that? Look at that light around this archangel's head, right? That is incredible. Look at the wings, look at the colors. I'm actually going to put on, you'll notice the thumbnail is a picture of the sun that I took when I was in Central America, in El Salvador, this year in February. I took a picture of the sun and it looks like an archangel. It looks like the wings spreading, and off those wings are all these pearlescent rainbow colours. It really reminds me of this. I didn't realise it at the time. When I look back at the photo, I was like, that day I was like, my gosh, amazing. So this 144, so I'll link part 1 on this video, because it's such an amazing teachings, and it really talks about how we are all birthed from the 144 seraphim, the original light sparks of God source. And it is this, this is what's reawakening with us right now, as we're starting to wake up to divine will and remember the truth of who we are. And we are light, we are seeded from the light, and we are seeded from the light, and we are, the 144 seraphim is 72 rainbow ribbon rays of light and 72 rainbow ribbon rays of shadow. And as we are in this existence in the underworld, it's for us to go through those shadows, to reconnect back to our true light, to integrate those shadows with our light, with the truth of who we are. So I think this is just such an amazing card to come out and a sign to, if you're watching this right now, that I think you will receive some incredible messages and activations from the 144 book that I've just read, that you can get now on my YouTube channel. So holy moly, that is incredible. Right, I'm just going to keep that in front of me. Right, mental symptoms. Blurry awareness, remembering waking up at a certain time, but then next thing you know, the sun is setting. That you then realize that you have a blurry awareness of anything that happened or that you did for that day. For stage 2, this gets worse, but is also accompanied with dreams, meditation, and this reality blurred as one. So becoming so led as one that you cannot differentiate which planes things occur for you. This is because 4D is where your physical world and the spiritual world coexist. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that along my path, where I've literally been like, hold on, was that a dream? Did that happen? And I've been like blurred between what I dreamt and what I actually did. So I definitely you definitely be experiencing that if you're not already at some point. Concentration, sudden inability to concentrate and maintain focus. Yeah. This is sometimes accompanied with loss of comprehension. This is due to the fact you are receiving information from many planes now. Your consciousness is no longer focused on one plane of existence, but plugged into several. Until this is managed and mastered, these symptoms will continue. In these moments, it is best to not focus, but to simply be. Those of stage 2 will start to become consciously aware that they are bilocated, being in 2 planes of existence at once more. This is that rapid increased feeling of deja vu. Yeah, for sure. Forgetfulness. This is a huge stage 1 and stage 2 symptom. There are those sudden moments of forgetting everyday knowing, such things as places, names, meaning, words, routes, holidays, etc. Yeah, when I read this, I was like, oh yeah, and I knew this was something to do with Ascension, where I'd just be speaking and just the most simplest of word would literally just have dropped out of my brain. This is happening because all programming attached to the 3D world is dissolving to prepare you for the Mukana template. And it says here, see the angelic pearl codes 144. And aren't we just getting a message, right? Aren't you're just getting a message right now that there is wisdom held within this book for you. There's wisdom held within this book for all of us. And it's referencing this now. So it'll make more sense when you listen to that book. Do not get upset over this. Just allow it to flow and move on. Be excited. Yeah, exactly. Because it means you are shifting into a higher octave. I so resonate with Zanita on this. I say this to my clients. You'll have heard me say it on my videos. Like, it's exciting when we experience these symptoms because you know that you are upgrading into a new octave of consciousness. So just embrace it. This symptom will be more prominent after you just collapse timelines that your consciousness was anchored on. If you need more understanding on your other aspects, please see the Who Am I section in the book, Crackling the Chrysalis. So then it says personal experience. I will never forget when this started for me. I thought I was going crazy. I would have a hard time recalling the name of food, simple stuff like a donut. I started to forget names of people and even have zero memory of someone I used to date. Oh, wow. I had to try hard to tap into that memory box. When we are simply being in the now, what is for our highest good will simply flow through us. The memories of that now past life is over with and no longer serves us. This is called collapsing timelines and arriving at 0 point existence. Memory. This is another huge one. This is when you cannot recall if you did things or if it is in your head that you did. I must use sticky notes for reminders and cross off when I have done things so I do not forget. This is simple stuff like, did I feed the cats? Did I take the trash out to the curb? Have I showered today? Literally the simplest stuff. This ties into what we just spoke about, all part of the timeline collapsing. Speech. Oh yeah, I've experienced this. And you're probably experiencing it as I'm reading sometimes. Forgetting how to speak in a linear fashion, which results in sudden speech impediments. This is due to the consciousness vibrating too high for the motor skills. The information is there, yet when you go to open your mouth, nothing comes out and you have a hard time finding the words. As you move more into higher octaves, you will no longer use a linear language, but instead use telepathy. And it just came to me then, because just before I started this, I got a real sound in my ears, and I knew, like, you know, my guides were coming in closer. So it's interesting that this came out, right? So I just wanted to, I think we've read about that as one of the Ascension things that happens as we go through our Ascension, because our the crystals within our ears, within our heads are upgraded. Time lapse. This is happening to almost everyone right now, and has been for stage 2 people, since 2012. This is happening because you are not playing in the 3D sandbox. You literally exist outside of time. So when you do those blissful things that make your heartstrings sing, time fades away. It is fading because you are simply existing and anchoring into your heart and no longer in your mind. The 3D sandbox is about always using your mind, where the 5D sandbox is about following your bliss. Exercise. To truly understand your bliss, think of things you did as a child that made you the happiest. This could have been art stuff, writing, being in nature, playing teacher, etc. This tells you what your soul truly does in the higher planes and why you are here. For those who love being in nature, it means you are here to anchor the light of the nature kingdom. For those who do art or write, it means spirit will channel through you when you do more of those things. When we do these things, it emits pure crystal's light from our heart and automatically dissolves all pain, suffering, grief, fear, etc. It also helps us to expand and grow. So go follow your bliss and have fun. Be like a child again. Go run barefoot outside or dance in the rain. Allow yourself to feel again, to feel your light within. Go Peter Pan it up. Now, I love that it says Peter Pan, because literally the day before, when it's 10:10 on the clock, literally the day before yesterday, I don't listen to music that often anymore. Not music that I used to listen to, because I just felt out of a resonance with a lot of it. But I was just listening to some old songs, and one that I saw was from Pete's Dragon, the Lumineers, and I thought, oh, because I'm very connected to the dragons, and so I was like, that instantly caught my attention. I'm going to watch that, and it was about Peter Pan. So interesting, that's coming up, right? Substances, and you'll be seeing this, right, as I'm reading these messages. I'm delivering these messages to you through reading this book and narrating this book, that there's going to be so many signs and synchronicities that are coming into your life to let you know that you are hearing the messages that you need to hear, that you're exactly where you need to be. That's how spirit works. It's brilliant. Substances negatively enhancing ascension symptoms. Along with anything else you digest, consuming too much can cause the body to no longer function naturally. If you are having severe ascension symptoms, always refer to your diet. What you feed your internal environment is very important during spiritual puberty. Here are some key substances that negatively enhance those spiritual growing pains. Sucralose. This, I'm going to just show you how that's spelled. I think I'm guessing it's a kind of fake sugar, but we'll see. This is not recognized by the body when it enters it. When food is put into the body, metabolism starts to be produced from your thyroid to assist in helping break it down. However, if one puts an unnatural substance into their system, it will not digest properly. The angels tell me this can cause calcified kidneys, imbalanced liver, brain and nervous system issues, decreased thyroid hormone production, colon issues, shrunken ovaries, making it hard to reproduce, breast cancer, prostate, increased triglycerides produced from the liver, and what I am noticing clairvoyantly in people. Aspartame, again, I'm going to show you that word so you can look out for it. Maybe make a note and look out for it on the stuff that you eat. Used mainly in soft drinks. Oh, I don't drink soft drinks. And other diet label foods, or have diet foods. I mean, I have done in the past before I knew about. I mean, I stopped drinking diet drinks a long time ago, but I started to realise about them. But you know, I fell for all the diet fab, right, when they did that PR campaign demonising fat, and making us all move into these diet foods. But I became aware of this. That this is over 150 times sweeter than natural sugar, right? And contains about 10% of methanol. When this is broken down in the body, it becomes formic acid and formaldehyde. Formaldehyde, right? That is in paint stripper. It's in they use it embalming bodies. This aids in toxic buildup within the body. It's insane when you start to find out what they are putting into our normal foods and what most people give to the children unaware. Making the light harder to pass through the body. This is connected to issues such as migraine, anxiety, depression, insomnia, brain damage, central nervous system issues, brain development in unborn children, the fetus. So it says healthier options are organic sugar, honey, agave. And that's the thing, right? People think because they've drunk these things for so long that it can't be that bad, really. But that's because sub-health, illness, disease has been normalised in this society, and it is not normal to have such widespread mental illness and physical illnesses. It's not normal. It's the opposite of normal. It's the marker of a sick society. It shows that society is very, very sick. Why is it sick? Part of it is because they're disconnected from the soul, from the spirit, and they need to go through a reconnection back with the true soul self, back to spirit, back to the divine. Part of it is because of all these foods that are full of toxins that are poisoning the body, that are making people literally dumb, literally making you dumb and creating all this illness. So I think, look, if you're watching this, you are waking up to this anyway, and we are on this path of awakening together, and we can start to make better choices for ourselves. If sugar is overconsumed, it contributes to suppressing your immune system, which reduces your body's natural defense against bacterial diseases. Processed foods, MSG. So that is this is a neurotoxin. MSG, monosodium glutamate, aids in overstimulating the neurotransmitters. And it says, see the pineal gland section in your brain. Too much of this can cause chest pain, nausea, fatigue, difficulty breathing, numbness, headaches, high blood pressure, itchy skin. Trans fats. This is twice as dangerous for your heart than saturated fat because it increases LDI, lower density lipoprotein, cholesterol in your blood, and decreases HDL, higher density lipoprotein. LDL is a lipoprotein that delivers fat molecules to cells. Increased LDL can cause lesions in the walls of an artery. HDL enlarges and gathers the fat molecules to transport them. If these two lipoproteins are off balance, it increases the risk for type 2 diabetes. And isn't there a lot of diabetes in this world? Blood flows from the heart into the body through arteries. Therefore, their health is very important. If a lesion forms, then it can result in narrowing of the artery due to plaque buildup. The narrower the tunnel system is, the harder it is to get blood to the body from the heart. Think of how the engine of a car has cylinders. This is a similar system. Austria. Again, I'm going to show you these words because I have no doubt I am not pronouncing them correctly. But then you can stop it and make a note. This is a fat substitute used in foods that once again the body does not properly digest because it scans it as an alien substance. This is not properly passed through the small and large intestines. This can cause effects such as bloating, cramps, and diarrhea. Refined grains. These are grains where the germ inner part and the bran outer part have been removed. This is not only taking away the minerals, fibre, and vitamins, but it also increases the chance of tooth decay, imbalanced blood sugar, obesity, gut bacteria, mood swings, table salt. I'm actually so glad that my body never liked table salt ever, actually. Although, I've ate some crap, guys, so I'm not saying like I've ate some of this non-food before I was, when I was born in the 80s, it was really, my parents were I'm sure you relate to this, my parents were working like 2 jobs. There was a point in my early childhood where my mum did used to cook things like homemade chips, at least, but then it moved to like, it was all processed, right? It was all oven chips. I remember, oh my God, like I used to work at Jack Fulton's, this freezer shop, and obviously my mum and dad used to shop there, and we used to get these like frozen burgers. What were they, right? Cheeseburgers. Used to put them in the microwave for 1 minute, and I used to eat so many of them. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about it. I'm making up for that now with my body. All these things that we just had no idea about, that was pushed onto families that were working so hard, that were so tired, that they didn't realise what they were feeding to the children. Table salt, while organic salt is good for you, table salt can consist of 60% chloride and 40% sodium. Too much table salt causes your body to retain fluid to help flush it out of the system. This causes that bloating feeling. This can also lead to stroke, high blood pressure, heart disease, decreases in calcium, kidney disease. High fructose corn syrup. This is used more often in processed food because it is cheaper, sweeter, and mixes better. This can cause the signals between the cells in your brain to slow down. During the Ascension process, you already have a lot of light entering those very cells. This is very high vibrational light that needs to properly be distributed between those cells. If you already have an imbalance, this process will cause intense head pain. If you have this symptom, look at your diet to see how much of this substance you are digesting. Too much high fructose corn syrup can aid in obesity, diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, increased production of triglycerides. Common food addictives. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. My lotus tea, which is yummy. There is a list of 13 common food addictives and what they can be and what they can cause to the body. But again, I'm going to show you these Ascension potassium. I know how to pronounce that, but it's fallen out of my mind. High cholesterol, cancer, weight gain, inflammation, artificial colouring. Don't they just put that in everything? Visual defects, hypersensitivity, mainly in children, nerve damage, artificial flavouring, reproductive issues. Look at the sweets, right? I stopped eating sweets, thankfully, a few years ago. Reproductive issues, hypersensitivity, abdominal pain, headache. And please don't feel guilt or shame if you are still eating any of these things, right? The more that you are ascended, the more that you do your inner work, your healing, your body naturally is going to move away from some of these foods. But the more awareness we bring to them, the more we can start to make more conscious choices, and feed our body things that are really going to help our body. We take back our power little by little. Fatigue, nausea, dizziness, artificial sweeteners. Refer to the sugar substitute section. Aspartame, refer to the sugar substitute section. BHA, biolated hydrosol, itchy skin, liver damage, kidney damage, suppressed immune system, cancer, birth defects. BVO, brominated vegetable oil, damaged organs, memory loss, headaches, skin irritation, birth defects, growth problems, disrupt the mucous membranes, lines the tongue, stomach, intestines, mouth, and esophagus. Caffeine. Now, caffeine's been a difficult one. Well, yeah, I love my morning coffee. I know many people love the coffee, but I did start to notice that I'd started to not drink it all, less and less. I realised it was more my mind and my body was turning off it. I was starting to feel my body was like, no coffee. So I've substituted that for a morning coffee, and it's like all these different mushrooms, and it's lovely. It's for me, it tastes better than coffee because I realise my body is like, no, I don't want that anymore. Caffeine, addiction to it, birth defects, heart disease, insomnia, anxiety, depression, dizziness, dehydration, inability to focus, restlessness. Free glutamates, no longer bound to other amino acids, causing the body to absorb it faster. So it's a free glutamates. Brain damage, asthma attacks, high blood pressure, obesity. A lot of these you're seeing similar things, right? Damaging the liver, the kidneys, the immune system, blood pressure, obesity, heart attack, diabetes, skin, birth defects, hydrogenated vegetable oil, colon cancer, high blood pressure, breast cancer, heart disease. Athos, here we go. So this is with prolonged overuse of the oil. So it says MSG refer to the processed food section. So nitrates, fatigue, dizziness, stomach cancer can turn hemoglobin into methaglobin, basically oxygenized hemoglobin, excess heart rate, nitrates, headaches, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, vertigo, bowel issues. See your body as a heart and the 4 chambers as diet, exercise, mind and emotions, right? And I work with my client very much on the mind and emotions, but I bring in the diet. I'm not a dietitian, but I am on this journey as well. I've recommended reading this book. I always bring in about looking at our diet, but also because we're working on reconnecting back to the body, they naturally start changing things about their diet because things start coming in to your awareness. That happens when you go on this journey of cleansing out these emotions and these mind programs that are keeping you locked in negative programs that harm you. But I love this. So yes, to see your body as the 4 chambers as diet, exercise, mind and emotions. Keeping these 4 components balanced is using the KISS technique that the angels spoke of in the vagus nerve symptoms chapter. Right, so I'm gonna leave it there because that I didn't realise I'd done 27 minutes, but I'm going to leave it there for this one. And I just want to again show you this card, and I'll link the video 144. So if you want to start watching that, you can, and this card you'll start to connect even into this image even more. But you could stop this video and just really see what comes to you in this image, what message it holds for you. Thank you.